I also think that the Tar Heels are going to be fine too. Now, Gilio's making a face. Hear me out.
Well, we should probably define fine. I went into the season thinking they could be an 8-4 team. I continue to believe they can be an 8-4 team, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with being 8-4. It's better than last year when they went 6-7.
No, there's absolutely nothing wrong with being 8-4, but I actually think they can still compete for the Coastal Division. Here's why. It's twofold. One, their offense is good enough that they can go out there and win a few ball games in the ACC on that alone and overcome whatever defensive deficiencies they've been dealing with, and we saw on full display against Notre Dame on Saturday. I think Saturday and how badly it went for them might just be a look at yourself in the mirror for the players and just how you want the season to go, and they'll bounce back. I also look at the rest of the ACC Coastal, and I think to myself, who exactly is going to get in the way? There's probably 3 teams that could potentially get in North Carolina's way. The biggest one is Pitt. All right, the reigning Coastal Division champions, the reigning ACC champions. Now, Pitt's offense is not as efficient as it was last year. They've got some offensive line issues. Slovis has been pressured a lot this season. I think he's second or close to it behind what's going on at Boston College, which has really dropped off the face of the planet, but that's another conversation altogether.
What record do you think is going to win the Coastal?
See, that's a great question. I do not know.
Okay.
I could see, well, it's kind of like the Atlantic, right? Didn't you float the idea of a 2-loss team winning the Atlantic?
I still think it's in play, 6-2.
I can see a 3-loss team winning the Coastal Division. Because
I'm not sure Clem's got 3 of those in them, but
here's the thing, though. I'm saying on the Coastal side, not the Atlantic side.
5-3.
5-3 could win it.
Yeah.
And here's the reason why I say that. Because there's 2 separate conversations. In the Atlantic Division, we're seeing where divisionless football could make for a really interesting season coming out of the Atlantic.
Yeah.
And this stretch where Clemson just beat Wake Forest, NC State's going to Clemson this Saturday, and then let's not forget NC State hosting Florida State the following weekend because
and Wake and FSU playing this weekend too.
Yes, there's all sorts of
Syracuse
standoff going on here.
Pretty sure Syracuse hopped into one of the top 25.
Syracuse has been a pleasant surprise this season for Dino Babers. So I can see where there's a little bit of knocking out because of the teams being good.
Yeah.
The problem with the Coastal is teams are knocking each other out because nobody can step up. This is where I get back to North Carolina and their offense. I truly believe that Drake Maye and a healthy North Carolina offense, as they develop their backfield with like Amari and Hampton, Josh Downs now being back and providing yet another weapon for Drake Maye. Drake Maye actually was pretty good, all things considered, against the Irish. All right? It's just
Drake Maye's a dude.
Right. And what do we know about having a dude?
Yeah.
You can win some games when you have a dude. So that's panned out. When
I think people could get confused about Drake Maye.
Mm-hmm.
Nick Saban wanted him to be his quarterback.
Right. Right.
This isn't, 10, 12 years ago when Nick Saban just put any A.J. McCarron and Jabroni Central in there and made sure they didn't turn the ball over.
Mm-hmm.
Drake Maye's a dude.
Virginia Tech right now
is terrible.
Is bad.
They're beyond bad.
They have no offensive identity right now. They can't seem to be doing anything.
Virginia Tech will be lucky to win 2 league games this year. 2 maximum.
Virginia in their transitionary time.
That's a smart bomb. That was a Dabo Swinney smart bomb to Virginia.
Okay. Georgia Tech just fired Jeff Collins.
Yeah, a mess. There's 3 of them. They got 3.
This leaves us with.
So they got 5 games.
This leaves us with Duke, Miami, and Pitt. All right. Duke.
Well, they play Wake and State too. Don't forget, those count the same in the standings.
I get that part too. I'm talking specifically about the Coastal Division, though. My thing about Miami is, and Miami people tried to tell you, with the Mario Cristobal, you can make a face, but the people that I talk to,
you talk to the radio guy, yes.
It's not just a radio
who's insightful.
Guy. It's not just my guy Joe Zagacki. It's not just my dad.
No, stop.
You act like
Miami spent all this money in the portal, all of it, all of the money.
Right.
Come on.
But they got 2 issues. I
refuse to let you defend Miami fans who are completely unhinged on Twitter. They're the absolute worst, and I can't stand Carolina fans, but Miami fans are even worse because they're completely and totally delusional.
Miami's got 2 issues. The first one is the way Mario Cristobal wants to play.
Correct.
All right.
There is a governor on the offense. I believe that, yes.
So that's issue number one. Issue number two is that Tyler Van Dyke, their quarterback that really came out of nowhere last season, was working with a wide receiver group that was a hell of a lot better than the group that you've got now, which is something that Miami people, not just my guy Joe Zagacki, not just my dad. You act like I don't read the Miami stuff every day. They've been trying to tell you that this is going to be a transitionary time. That's all I'm saying. You could talk about the portal all day, but I know for a fact offensively they're going to have some issues, and that's panning out. They can't do anything right offensively. That leaves us with Duke and Pitt. Duke under Mike Elko is still unknown, but they've rebooted and there's a different energy. And obviously we know that Pat Narduzzi knows what the hell he's doing at Pitt. All I'm saying is, as bad as Saturday was, North Carolina's season is not over. And with Drake Maye and that offense, anything is possible. The question is, are they going to let Saturday derail them, or are they going to let Saturday be a refocusing point where they pick themselves up and go forward? That's all I'm asking.
I definitely think they can go 5-3 in the league. Yes.
Okay.
Agree. You need to look at Miami's schedule, though, because they're off this week. I think Carolina bounces back. I think they pace the holy living everything out of Virginia Tech on Saturday in Chapel Hill. Miami's off. Everyone tells Miami how bad they are.
Yeah.
They have a little bit of a pride game. They play Carolina down there. They run Carolina out of the gym on October 8th, and we'll see what happens to Miami after that.
All right.
That's the thing. But yes, do I think Carolina can go 5-3 in the league with their schedule? Absolutely.